ball game on the Jim Miller Frozen Sports Program, and this is what I've been waiting for all week. It's
Alrighty,
This Week
Tim.
in Baseball.
Yeah, man.
Are you stoked?
I am stoked. Totally stoked.
Give me my iPod, you maggot.
All right, dude.
All right, so, yeah, so how many weeks are we into the season now?
A few.
A
2
few.
months. We're about 2 months into the season.
The end of May.
End of May. It's not
Sorry.
the end of March.
I'm sorry. Oh, man, look at Tim Lincecum's hair.
Oh, he's so sexy.
Man, love that guy.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Okay.
what do you got? What do you got? What do you got for this week in baseball? What has happened in the last week in baseball?
Well, Wednesday, some tragic news in the baseball world. Buster Posey is out with a strained ligament in his ankle and a broken leg, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, that sucks. What happened?
Well, he was run into by a Florida Marlins player who was coming home around third base. He was tagging up. He was going in for a hard play. And he railroaded Posey, which you're allowed to do in baseball.
Absolutely, you are.
It's a baseball play.
It's a baseball play. I like that term, baseball play.
Maybe he took it a little too far, but it seemed more unlucky for Posey because he was kneeling down.
And he fell kind of awkward. I saw the play. He fell kind of awkward, and then you saw his ankle go, and then you saw his leg go.
Because he barreled over the top of him, so his leg got caught underneath him, and his ankle bent like inside out.
Sure.
So.
Nasty play. So, Tim, I'll ask my baseball expert, your opinion, should plays as this idea of rugby tackling the catcher to get the ball out of his hands, is this something that is good for baseball? Was this an unfortunate set of circumstances, or is this something that is going to become the norm? In your humble opinion.
The plays like these are rather rare in the major leagues. Usually you'll see guys trying to slide around him. You don't see just running straight into him.
You see this once or twice a month at most. Yeah, it's a very rare play. In my opinion, these were two first-place teams going at it. And, sure.
Florida's not in first place, but they're only two behind the Phillies. They're pushing for first place in the NL.
So this is a hardcore baseball game.
And, there's these NL West, you smile after you say that, but the NL West series, they're demanding on teams, so they play hard during them.
Right. Shh. You be quiet over there.
This is baseball, man. This is my time. But I really don't have a problem with it. It was a hard play. It was late in the game, and they just wanted to get a run in. So I don't have a problem with it. Other people argue that you don't watch the baseball games to see the catcher get injured, which I absolutely agree. No, usually 9 times out of 10 these plays happen.
Sorry.
And the catcher doesn't get run over like that, or he's able to if he does, he's able to get right back up and go back out there. Catchers are built to be durable. They have the pads, and they're big guys too.
Sure.
But Posey being such a valuable piece to the Giants, maybe there'd be a consequence being handed out. But
you think the MLB gonna fine him?
I don't think they should.
No, they shouldn't.
Because, that was a right-on throw. And when the throw is right on like that, you're going to try to get the ball in the catcher's hand. So that's my argument, is that the throw was right to Posey. So he had no choice but to run him over if he was going to score.
Now, from a moral perspective, because everybody knows I have very strong morals and values, I take my morals and values extremely seriously. Everybody knows this.
Yes.
Which is why I think steroids should be legalized. From a moral standpoint, is this play right in baseball? Should it be in baseball that you should be allowed to essentially tackle the catcher to try to get the ball out of his hands?
Well, as a kid who was raised on baseball but has been watching hockey for the past 3 years, I would say I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, your hockey background really coming through.
Exactly, but I think from a baseball standpoint, I think there should be restrictions placed on these kind of plays. You shouldn't be able to hit the guy in the head or anything like that. This was a high blow.
So you're talking about regulating contact, kind of like football.
This is kind of like another replay sort of situation, but there's that question of bringing that into it. So I wouldn't go that far. I think at the very most there should be consequences that is handed out to the player who causes a major injury like this, like 6 to 8 months.
What if he doesn't get it? What if you just tackle the catcher and the catcher gets up, say, before the player does? Then all of a sudden, is there no fine?
Well, so you're saying like if the catcher like
if the catcher's fine, let's say he doesn't. Let's say Buster Posey doesn't break his leg, gets up, goes back. If it's the third out, back to the dugout. If it's first or second out, he squats back down behind home plate.
Well, yeah, if it's like that, then it's just your typical baseball play. It's a good. It's
so
good, exciting
you're setting
moment.
a double standard.
Well,
then.
yeah, I know.
If a dude gets hurt, you're fining. But if a dude doesn't get hurt,
no
fine.
I think there's two options. You see, I think the replay one is the best one.
Okay.
I support using the replay to see if.
So if you go and you grab a guy by the throat, and throw him down, your ass is getting ejected.
Well, I think if you do that right now anyway, you're gonna get ejected.
Well, yeah.
But from my standpoint, I don't have a problem with these kind of plays. I think that there should be some kind of contact in baseball. I mean, it's different for catchers since they have all the protection, but when you completely barrel a guy over like that, I think that there should be some kind of consequence. But other than running into him, I think it's fine.
I think the play sucks. I think it needs to get out of the game. And I know it's kind of surprising to hear me say that.
Yeah, I heard you talking about this before the show.
I want baseball to progress. My vision for baseball is that it gets better, and that stupid things don't happen in this sport. And baseball is not a sport that is meant for people to be beating the shit out of each other. It's just not.
We've seen a decline in brawls, haven't we?
It's not a strong-willed sport, at least physically. So to be tackling the catcher for no other reason than, he has some pads on, I'm going to get the ball out of his hands, is nuts. I don't think you should be doing it. This isn't football. It's a completely different sport. We played the George Carlin thing, I believe, one time on this show. In baseball, blah, blah, blah. Football, blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
And, it just kind of goes back to that, where you can't be tackling the catcher. I think it needs to be out of the game. I think it's a play that shouldn't be allowed anymore because it's stupid. Like, who does this benefit? And in all likelihood, the catcher is going to hold on to the ball, and you're going to be out because you are making physical contact with the catcher, and he's going to tag you. At least the good catchers are. Well, the bad catcher, there is a chance that the guy will break his leg, and that's a shame that happened because I do like Buster Posey. He's a great player.
It's very rare that they get injured on him. I mean, the article I read, they mentioned some guy in the 70s. He was a great catcher, got run over, didn't really return to his regular form, but that was back in the 70s. I mean, that was the last time this ever happened. So,
and we hope Posey comes back to full health because he is he's a good hitter.
Yeah.
A young Joe Mauer kind of.
And, you saw the guy who ran him over on the clip. He got right up and
immediately apologized. I'm sorry I did that. I don't want to hurt anybody.
You okay, man?
It wasn't facetious. But I'm saying it's a stupid play. Like, there's no reason in anything in life. If there is no reason to get hurt, don't do it. Like, there is no reason in baseball why we should be crashing into each other, except for retarded outfielders. You know what I'm saying? Going for the going for the same fly ball. Like, that's it. So I think here's what should happen. If you do this and you crash, you should outlaw it completely. Number one, make that a rule. And if you crash into the catcher, you're ejected and fined $25,000. Just hardball them, saying, "Hey, we're gonna kick you out of the game and we're gonna fine your ass." And if the guy gets hurt, we'll set a double standard. And if an injury is committed, we're going to fine you more and we're going to suspend you. I mean, if you want to really get something out of a sport, which I think baseball kind of wants to do, they don't want the bad guy reputation, which this could turn into if it becomes something that's more common, which I don't think it will. Yeah. I think, this was kind of an anomaly, this guy getting hurt. I don't think that's going to happen again for a while at least. Yeah. It's just an every once in a while occurrence. So I think, whether he gets hurt or not almost doesn't matter. But if you run into the catcher, because there's a chance of injury, we're going to eject you and fine you. And I think that's what needs to happen because it's a dumb play that shouldn't be in the sport. It's not, it's not in the fabric of the sport. It's not something that's tradition like your whatever other stupid traditions in baseball. Baseball is the sport of stupid traditions, and this is one that needs to be out.
All right, well. Okay,
so that's the Buster Posey thing. Can we move on?
Yeah, let's move on to some interesting other storylines, standing-wise.
Tim's full of stuff today. Look at you go.
Yeah, I like this part of the program, talking about the standings. I'm in the standings. So, San Francisco, since the Buster Posey thing, a 3-game losing streak.
He's their best hitter.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, no offense.
I think maybe it's just kind of the shock of it happening that this guy's out for 6 to 8 weeks or
Actually,
6 to 8 months.
He's out for the rest of the year.
Yeah. So.
They said 6 to 8 weeks on the DL, but he's out for the rest of the year.
Yeah. So I mean, and then they have stuff to worry about too in the NL West. Arizona, I said last week it's a 2-team race out there. The rest of the teams aren't coming back, and look at that. Arizona is back to
Colorado's fault. What happened to they've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, so
how did that happen?
Both San Francisco and Colorado have opened the door to Arizona to climb back into that race, 26 and 24.
Yeah, Tulowitzki's had a tough week. Tulowitzki did not play well this week.
Mm-hmm. So so I'm not canceling teams out anymore. I'm gonna stay away from that.
Okay, stay away from
Arizona's
that. It's June, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the division last week. I was like, wow, that division sucks. But,
it really does. I mean, that is a terrible division.
Well, not as much as the.
What's
AL
going on in
West.
the Central?
Look at the AL West.
We'll ask about the Central later.
Oh my.
The AL West. The AL West has to be terrible.
Yeah, the Rangers finally broke 2 games above 500. Wow.
Oh wow, there you go. And the Angels at 500, a game back.
And Oakland at 24 and 27, only 2.5 out. So
that's a division that could be won by any of those teams.
Yeah,
and Seattle's got great young
it could
pitching.
be won by a team with a subpar or sub 500 record, which is the interesting thing to me.
What's going on in our Central, in the NL Central, the beloved Chicago Cubs?
NL Central, St. Louis so far has been running away with it, but how about Milwaukee? 6-game winning streak, coming back to 27-23. They
can hit, man.
They were in third last week, and they've climbed up. So
how the Cubbies doing?
The Cubs 7 out, 22 and 27, second to last place in the division.
Business as usual.
Business as usual. Mike Quaddy's arguing to keep his team playing games. They canceled the game that they were losing the other day in the 6th inning, and Quaddy came out to argue because he thought they had a chance to win it. And was just like, no, you're gonna lose that game. They were losing like 6-3, I think. I mean, it wasn't an insurmountable thing, but
insurmountable for the Cubs.
As a guy who somewhat follows the Cubs occasionally, I can tell you they weren't going to win that game.
No,
and especially with the shaky bullpen as of late. But Cleveland still hasn't changed much. They're sitting at 30-17, still a 6-game lead.
Great.
So
I'm happy for Cleveland. Cleveland needs something to cheer about.
Absolutely,
because they're so pissed off about LeBron.
But in the NL East, Philadelphia is still rolling, and Florida's only one behind though. So they still got their offense and Josh Johnson carrying the team. And the AL East is intriguing over the past week. I talked about Boston making a comeback last week, and they have pulled back into a tie with the New York Yankees for first place. And they have collectively forced the Rays down 1.5 back with a 2-game losing streak that they had some struggles against the Tigers early in the week.
Right.
So that brought them down, and the Yankees and Red Sox putting together win streaks right now, and that has them back into a deadlock for first place in the AL East.
Got anything out? A lot of good stuff today. You're full of little interesting nuggets in that segment. That was great.
I didn't even follow much this week.
No, that was good. I mean, that was the best you've done so far.
Thank you.
So
see, I told you guys.
You see, I'm gonna look forward to that next week. Now I feel like I know what happened in baseball this week.
Yeah.
And hopefully some of you will as well.
Yeah.
Watch out. All right, so everybody likes the Heat to win the NBA Finals on this set.
Yeah.
The Bulls got their asses kicked.
And we have angry Chicago fans still. What's going to be the next team to get Chicago fans angry? I wonder.
The Cubs.
The Cubs.
Cubs are on pace. The Sox, too.
Yeah.
Sox, too. Yeah.
All right.
We don't know who's better between Michael Jordan and LeBron.
Yeah, that's a toss-up as well. Just like the NBA Finals, huh?
Yeah, who knows? So there you go.
Yep.
All right, next week we're going to be in the midst of the NBA Finals and finals at school. So that'll be fun.
I don't think I'll be able to join you next week, though.
Oh, really? So we'll just have a Ryan Hartson show with Corey.
All right.
That's
good.
Fine.
Yep.
As long as you forewarn me, so I don't get my hopes up.
Yeah.
No, next week.
There's gonna be about a 2-week hiatus I'll be taking from the show, so I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. It was a good to see you again, Corey.
So next time we do it, it's gonna have to be this month in baseball, huh?
Yeah, this month, right? Hey, you can take my place, right, man?
I can't do it.
Well, get Willie on the side, maybe.
Oh, because you're going to Disney.
Yeah.
That's why you're out. Okay, I accept your reason.
I'm I would be in the state of Florida. Hey, they might have 2 teams in a championship by the time I go down there. The Heat and the Lightning.
But no one cares about the Lightning.
Well,
no one cares.
Tampa kinda does.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they don't. But there's
No,
a few
they don't.
people. They did offer a death threat to to these guys who put up a Boston billboard that said that Tampa Bay Lightning fans are a myth like Bigfoot. And they threatened to kill the public relations people that put that up for the Boston Bruins. So there's a few crazy fans that they have.
Hockey, baby.
Yeah,
That's what you get.
it was great.
A hockey team in Florida, I don't like that.
Well, it was all Gary Bettman's plan to spread the game, and they're already talking about moving a group of these teams back to places like Winnipeg, Hamilton, Quebec.
Good.
Yeah,
Canada. We need Canadian teams in the National Hockey League.
Absolutely.
Oh, Canada.
Out of Florida and into Canada.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, get the Thrashers and the Panthers out of there. I think they
The
can.
Winnipeg Thrashers. How awesome does that sound? Dude.
Well, I think they changed that back to the Jets for old time's sake.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah.
The Winnipeg Jets. That sucks. The Thrashers. Winnipeg I've had enough. Let's get out of here.
All right. Well, if I'm here, see you guys next week. If not, see you guys in 2.5 weeks.
On BWC Internet Radio.